So the new trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, was just released, and it's got fans wondering, will this movie actually be really good and a breath of fresh air for Marvel after Phase 4, or just another flush of money down the toilet? Now, if you're not aware, it's highly speculated that the team over at Marvel Studios is making major changes to their future release slate due to backlash from the fans after Phase 4, which the majority of people deem as the worst phase so far, with 17 new projects in the span of just 2 years, which by the way is only 6 projects less than the number of films in the entire Infinity Saga, and the appalling CGI clearly exposing their push for quantity over quality, trying to appeal to only a minority of people, and not giving the writers enough time to make a compelling story, or just having the wrong writers altogether due to the panic to get the project, released on time. But with the new Ant-Man, a new chapter begins in the MCU. It's a new phase, a time to make projects that fans will appreciate, a time to write new stories to pave the way down this multiverse saga into Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, and ultimately end with Avengers: Secret Wars. So, will this new Ant-Man film live up to or exceed fans' high expectations with the introduction of the new big bad that is Kang the Conqueror, and potentially be, a heartbreaking story for fans with major repercussions, leaving fans amazed when they leave the cinema? Or will it be a complete and utter disappointment? Now, firstly, all the stuff I said about the Phase 5 news before, that was all announced the way after this film was finished with its post-production and its first trailer was released. So the idea that this was made part of Marvel Studios' new plan going forward to only make quality projects, it doesn't apply with this film, and it won't apply until next year at least. However, with this film there is still definitely a lot to be excited about. As I previously mentioned, Kang the Conqueror makes his first official appearance in this film. Oh, but a variant of him appeared in Loki. Yeah, I know, but that was a variant who's significantly, less brutal than the one in this film, I imagine. And that one's dead now anyway. Anyway, we know that Kang the Conqueror is going to be the main big bad going forward with this saga. And if you didn't know that, the name Avengers Kang Dynasty basically spells it out for you. So this makes for something very exciting to look forward to. What is his plan to trick Ant-Man in the movie? Why has he been in the quantum realm all this time? What has he been doing this whole time? Just how powerful is he? And what will he do by the end of the film? Well, all we can do for now as fans is speculate, or just, read plot leaks if we don't care enough to wait another month, and hope that this introduction to one of the most powerful Marvel characters of all time doesn't disappoint. As for the character of Ant-Man, this is his third film, ending off the Ant-Man trilogy, and from what we've seen in the final trilogy films of the MCU, this film is bound to have some major consequences for the main protagonist. Word has spread, and by the way, this is not leaked, it's just a rumour, that Scott could even die in this film. Personally though, I don't think that's the case. I think killing off a hero in their own film is pretty brutal, and it's never happened before in the MCU, but who knows, maybe this film makes it history. But if he does, then we'll come to resent Kang with all our hearts. And going into the future Avengers movies, the knowledge that this guy killed a character we've been known and loved for, 9 years now, will certainly make for an interesting experience. Now, I imagine the film will end with many Kang variants breaking through the multiverse and bringing the Kang conquering to a start. And who knows, maybe he'll return in future projects before the Kang Dynasty, which he kind of has to, as a 3-year wait to see him again in Avengers is quite a long time. But also most projects I imagine will take place after the events of this film going forward, and so the repercussions faced in this film will bring consequences to our characters in the future before they all realise that they must come together to defeat the common enemy, which is Kang. And then you have the Avengers movie. Anyway, back to the trailer. We also get a reveal of MODOK, who doesn't have the usual origin story like in the comics, but instead it's Darren Cross, the bad guy from the first movie. I won't lie, he looks absolutely ridiculous, but this origin story makes sense, as at the end of the first Ant-Man film, his suit shrank and he did mutate along with his body, leaving him stuck in the quantum realm, and potentially he was saved by Kang, so him becoming the MCU's MODOK should be interesting. I'm excited to see just how strong he is in this universe, since, his head is abnormally bigger than the rest of his body, and so his brain power is significantly greater. In this comics, this giant head gave him powers such as incredible deduction, super perception, and the ability to solve the hardest puzzles. Even in some cases, he had psychic abilities. Now for the MCU version, I doubt he'll be super OP, since, Ant-Man and his crew need to have some leverage at least to even stand a chance, especially since Kang is their main opponent in this film, because, the only abilities they've got is that they can shrink really small and grow really large. So yeah, they'll have to be very strategic to take MODOK down if he does have a good power set, but we'll see. This movie should also explore what Janet was up to this whole time while in the quantum realm. She was down there for a solid 30 years or so she'll have learned quite a lot about how the whole quantum realm works, and we'll obviously know a lot about Kang and exactly what he does. The trailer seems to reveal that we'll get her quantum realm origin of when she first arrived and what she went on to do, and the fact that she knows what she knows about the quantum realm will make for some interesting reveals as the film progresses. Janet, Hank and Hope will be separated from Scott and his daughter Cassie to begin with in the film, at least that's what it looks like. So potentially Scott meets Kang before Janet can say anything to Scott, and hence Scott basically gets in a sticky situation because he blindly trusts Kang for whatever reason. It's probably to give him more time with Cassie, as he did miss 5 years of her growing up, but it seems like to get this this, he must do something for Kang first. What he must do, we don't exactly know. But listen, overall, I'm pretty excited for this movie. I always liked the Ant-Man character ever since he first arrived on screen, and though the first two movies are probably on the weaker side of the MCU, this movie obviously has much higher stakes and will take in a much more serious tone than the previous two. It's also taking place, you know, mainly in the quantum realm, which has always been a destination that we've seen glimpses of, but never fully explored, so it'll be exciting to flesh out this world. Now, I wouldn't say I'm expecting a masterpiece with this film, but I do think it'll be a lot better than some of the stuff that Marvel has produced recently. I think what most people are looking forward to, though, is the greater impact of this film going forward, because this film is guaranteed to end with something major, which runs into future projects and leads up to the Avengers. And I mean that in a good, you know, surprising way, not in a way of like, what the fuck did I just watch, that was fucking awful. Anyway, are you excited for Quantumania? If you are, or even if you're not, whatever, you know, your position is, comment down below. I want to read your opinions, because I actually care, I promise. But yeah, thank you for watching. Now, go outside. Bye.